Welcome back, first timers. But if you're new here, I'm David, and this is Terry.
We're the first timers. We're trying things for the first time, and you can too.
And in today's episode, Terry's going to be making an awesome 4-course meal for you to impress your special someone for Valentine's Day.
Today we're making Caprese Bruschetta, an Italian chopped salad, fettuccine Alfredo, and a cannoli pie.
I'll get out of the kitchen and get out of her way, and I'll see you back when it's time to eat.
We got a new attachment for our KitchenAid mixer. It's a pasta roller. So I'm gonna test this out today for the very first time. Haven't even taken it out of the box yet, and we're gonna make some fresh pasta. But before that, we have to start on our cannoli pie because it needs to chill in the fridge for about 3 hours. For the no-bake cannoli cream pie, you're gonna need 8 ounces of cream cheese, vanilla, heavy whipping cream, ricotta, confectioner's sugar, cinnamon, chocolate chips, and store-bought graham cracker pie crust. So first thing you're gonna do is take your 8 ounces of cream cheese and put it in your bowl and mix it until it's smooth and creamy. After you mix up the cream cheese, you're gonna add in 1.5 cups of heavy cream and then mix it until you have stiff peaks. Those peaks look pretty stiff, so now we're gonna add in our confectioner's sugar and our ricotta cheese and blend that together. Now we're gonna add in a teaspoon of vanilla, a couple dashes of cinnamon, and just for fun, a little red food coloring. So it's, we're Valentine's Day. Now we'll give that a little mix. Now we're just gonna mix in our mini chocolate chips. Now we're just gonna put our mixture into our pie crust and stick it in the fridge for about 3 hours. That's heavy. Into the fridge it goes. To finish off your pie, you need just 2 teaspoons of powdered sugar and 1 tub of Cool Whip. And you're just gonna plop that in there, give it a stir. We're gonna top our pie with this and some more chocolate chips. It's time to start our pasta. So you're gonna need 4 eggs, 3.5 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 cup of water. First thing we're gonna do is put our flour, 4 eggs, and 2 tablespoons of water into our bowl. Then we're gonna mix that for 30 seconds, and you're gonna mix it using a paddle attachment. We just got this paddle attachment as a recommendation from one of our viewers, Josh F. This has a silicone side, so it scrapes your bowl as you mix your ingredients. Let's get to dumping. We got all our ingredients in the bowl. Now we're gonna mix it on speed number 2 for 30 seconds. It's been 30 seconds. Now we're gonna change out our paddle to our dough hook, and you're going to knead this for 2 minutes on setting number 2. If it looks too dry, just add a little bit of water. We got our dough out of our mixer, and now we're gonna knead it by hand on a floured surface for 2 minutes. The recipe says don't skip this step. It's very important to work the gluten through the dough. After our dough rests, we're gonna break out our new pasta attachment that we got on the KitchenAid website. It's a refurbished item, but they inspect them and repair them, and then you get them for a cheaper price. Now we're gonna cover it in plastic and let it sit for at least 25 minutes. It's been 25 long minutes. We got our dough. We're gonna cut it into 4 pieces, and then we're gonna work with 1 piece at a time. Keep the other dough covered while you work with this piece. We're gonna roll out 1 piece till it's about 1/2 inch thick. I got my roller attachment on the KitchenAid. You're gonna set it to level 1, and then you're gonna turn your speed to about 2, and we're gonna feed the dough through. Now you're gonna fold it in half again, and do the same thing. Allegedly. Doesn't quite fit, so we're just gonna roll it out a little bit. We're gonna speed things up. We're gonna turn this up to number 2, and we're gonna keep feeding it through all the way until we get to number 5. At some point, it might get too long, and you'll have to cut it in half. We're just gonna set this piece aside and work on our other piece. As you go, make sure that you keep it floured a little bit because it will start to stick, so you might have to flour it as it comes out of the rollers. It also helps if you have another person to catch the pasta on the other side. This makes it just a little bit easier. If you didn't want to make spaghetti or fettuccine, like the other two attachments will allow, you would stop right here and use these sheets as lasagna. I put the cutting attachment on. We're gonna feed one sheet at a time through the cutting attachment, and then we're gonna just lay it on a floured counter for about 10 minutes just to let it dry a little bit. Got this on setting number 2. Look at that, we got pasta. Fancy, look at me. I'm like a regular old pasta maker. Gonna run through the rest of these and then we'll get to the bruschetta and the salad. For the Caprese Bruschetta, you're going to need some Italian bread, tomatoes, mozzarella balls, basil leaves, Italian seasoning, olive oil, salt, black pepper, and balsamic glaze. We're gonna just brush our bread pieces with some olive oil and toast it in the oven for just a couple of minutes. While your bread's toasting, you're gonna mix up your bruschetta topping. So into the bowl, we're gonna put some tomatoes that are already chopped, mozzarella balls, not to be confused with matzo balls. Then you're gonna add in your seasonings, a little bit of olive oil, and give it a stir. Gonna pull our bread out of the oven, nice and toasty. Now on top of each piece of bread, you're gonna put a little bit of your caprese mix. Next, you're gonna sprinkle them with a little basil, fresh basil, and then drizzle some balsamic glaze on top of that. All done. Since we handmade the noodles, I figured let's go real simple on the salad. It's just dump and go. You'll need romaine, red onion, pepperoni rings, black olives, provolone sliced cheese, salami, tomatoes, black pepper, salt, and Italian vinaigrette. So I've got my lettuce in here. I've already chopped my tomatoes and thinly sliced my red onions. We're gonna dump that in there. And then I've chopped up my salami and provolone cheese into strips. Just kind of break that up and throw it in. Then we're gonna add in some pepperoni rings. You can add in however many you like. And then a couple of spoons of black olives. And then just add your dressing and toss before service. For the Alfredo sauce, you'll need butter, flour, salt, pepper, heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese, and Italian seasonings. To your pan, you're gonna add some butter, and once that melts down, you're gonna add in a tablespoon of flour with your seasonings and whisk that together until it becomes a golden paste, kind of like making a roux. And you're gonna wanna keep whisking that. After that, you're gonna add in your heavy cream, let that come up to a little bit of a simmer, and then add in your cheese and keep whisking the entire time until it melts. After that, you're done. While our sauce is cooking, we're gonna put in our pasta, and it's gonna cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's been 3 minutes. We're gonna drain our pasta and put some sauce on it and get to tasting.
And as you probably noticed, we didn't do pretty much any meat except for the salami and the salad, but we wanted to leave the protein selection up to you. You could use shrimp, you could use chicken, you could even do a steak on the side. I think it's time to jump in right to the appetizer.
Of course.
Cheers.
I like it.
It's really good. Salty, flavorful, fresh.
You could just stop right here. Don't make the pasta, just make a bunch of these.
Nice way to start off this 4-course meal. All right, let's not fill up on this. Let's go jump in that salad. And this was a super easy chopped salad.
Yep.
Kind of to take some of the pressure off of the pasta that you're making and the bruschetta.
You gotta, balance it out. Homemade here, simple there, semi-homemade.
Definitely has the Olive Garden vibes to it.
That's what I was going for.
I think what makes the difference is getting good salami and good provolone cheese.
The salami and the provolone really give it a nice smoky taste. Not your typical salad.
And I know you're not a fan of black olives, but I love them.
And again, you could just stop right here.
I said at first this kind of has the Olive Garden vibes, but that's because we're using that dressing. This is a lot closer to the chopped grinder sandwich that we made in this video right here. You might want to check that one out because we make that all the time.
Next up, we have our fettuccine Alfredo.
It smells really good. It was really fun making the pasta, actually. I mean, there was a little bit of a steep learning curve when we were making it.
Yeah.
And she had to get a little assistance from the cameraman from time to time, but it is kind of fun to make.
Yeah, definitely need to dry it flat, not on top of the other noodles. Pro tip. Got a little stuck together, but...
And then make sure it's properly floured too. The Alfredo sauce is really creamy and cheesy, but I think because we let it burn just a little bit, it actually gives it a really nice smoky complexity that you don't normally get with Alfredo sauce. So we just cooked it a little too long, but not burned it. And I think that actually just made it even better. And then definitely adding a protein I think would be nice too.
The noodles are good though.
The noodles are awesome. They're tender with a little bit of a bite, slightly chewy but not overly chewy, and they have a really nice flavor to them. And it was like 3 ingredients. These noodles soaked up all of the Alfredo. I mean, they took no prisoners. If you're gonna make them yourself like this, I'd go a little sauce heavy on the plate because by the time you're ready to eat it,
there's no sauce.
It's disappeared. We were using the KitchenAid pasta attachment for a KitchenAid mixer, which we actually bought through KitchenAid itself, through their refurbished program. Turned out to be the best purchase because it was, I don't know, 40-50% off. And it was like brand new. And then we did the same for the pasta attachment. They showed up, I mean, completely brand new, and we paid half of what they cost. So if you're in the market for the KitchenAid appliances or mixer attachments like we were, you could check out the KitchenAid website, which we'll link below. We're not sponsored or affiliated with them at all. We just think it's such a really good deal that everybody should be buying through them. That attachment made making pasta way easier than I thought. Man, without that thing, I don't think I would ever try to make pasta myself. It's time for dessert.
We got the cannoli pie, but pink for Valentine's Day.
And then with that mixer, you could probably make your own whipped cream, but we went with Cool Whip. I'd like to freeze that and make it like an ice cream pie. But that ricotta, you get that tang.
I don't even like ricotta, but you can't tell it's in there really.
I love ricotta.
Like if no one told me, I'd be like, oh, this is a really good pie.
This is a really good pie. We held no punches with this one. We used all the butter, all the cream, all the salt.
All the dishes.
But if you're trying to get your New Year's off to the right start with healthier foods, then check out the video where we did a bunch of healthy meal preps to kind of kickstart your New Year's. But thanks again for following along this episode, and join us next time when we try something else new for the first time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. First timers.
High five.
It is a pasta maker. The roller cutter? It is a pasta roller. Don't put that in. It is a